I've tried explaining to people on how to buy Pulse, and they're steered away because it's, quote, too complicated with too many steps. That's something that's not bearish, really. You know what I mean? Like Ewok said a moment ago. I mean, like when things are difficult to buy, that's when we're still in opportunity. And I right here am one of the people that when Hex was prior to Hex launch, when I wasn't as into crypto, I knew ancillary things. I knew how to buy tokens on exchanges and stuff. Wasn't as familiar with DeFi, but Ewok was explaining things to me, and I couldn't put it together. And that was just Hex. So, I mean, I don't know if this is really that much harder, but yeah, you have to have, if you have somebody who's already like open to crypto, understands exchanges, understand wallets, it's really DeFi that's the next step, and we just happen to be in like one of the most DeFi style platforms there is to be in,
Right,
so
right.
I get where you're coming from, and kudos to you for trying to help those people for sure. But yeah, I do think something like having Pulse on at least one of those bigger exchanges would really help. And maybe that was Richard's thought, like when he kind of just trashed the idea, presumably of MEXC, like you said, Ewok, because it's just who's on MEXC, who had really known as much about MEXC.
Right.
Kraken's that's like a big three in the United States. Yeah.
Yep. Or anyway, top 5 at least.
Yeah.
With Coinbase, you've got Crypto.com, you've got Gemini. Definitely Kraken is in the picture of the top 5. So, Alaska Fisherman, I will say to you, and keep talking to them about it, okay? Let them know what we just said is yes. It's opportunity. Let them understand that is like, this is brand new. I mean, we just crossed a year. And that whole first year was somewhat down, but explain about all the things that are building on it. Explain about the different communities that have grown. It's kind of like when Ethereum started, there wasn't already a pre-made community that kind of came in. You had some defectors from Bitcoin and things like that went over because they didn't like what was happening. But all the stuff that's being built and it's still being difficult to get to means a lot of VCs and big money investors haven't heard about it yet, or it isn't tried and tested enough for them to get major investments in. But as time goes on and this blockchain keeps going, it's going to grow. It's going to gain more faith. It's going to get belief, and things will become easier. It's one of the ways that I've explained to people too is, again, the opportunity cost of being difficult means you are damn near ground floor, and we are as far as prices go too.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. So that is a good thing to let them know, like that is the opportunity basically. So yeah, I mean, I do think that it will help to have an exchange listing, at least for Pulse, just to get people in the door. You don't need to teach, once they get to things onto a DEX like PulseX or Proteus, I mean, that's a whole other thing that they have to understand and get to 9mm, 9-inch, whatever. So, and yeah, Hex Girl, great on you for bringing that up since we're talking about onboarding. I didn't see the actual Coast account tweet this, but did you see Crypto Coffee talking about some Coast updates yesterday, Ewok?
I missed it yesterday. What did he say?
Well, I don't know if I'd call it updates, but it sounds like we're talking August, September timeframe until they're up and running again. That's what I think Coffee said on a site. It was like a 45-minute stream yesterday.
That seems like a long time.
That's what I saw, and I checked the actual 0x Coast account, and I couldn't really see any of that, but it does look like it's going to be a bit. So you're right, Hex Girl. They were, I know, one of Ewok's. Yeah, there's no real tweets from them. They were one of Ewok's preferred ways to go, and a very easy way to do it. But we have been without them for a little while. So. Yeah. We have, of course, on this channel talked about, that you got the regular Pulse Chain bridge, which is just available at pulsechain.com. That's been the cheapest option because this Gwei, I mean, even with ETH just shooting up in price, we're sitting at 6 Gwei right now, 6 or 8 Gwei right now. So you're looking at under $10 to bridge at the moment on the Pulse Chain bridge. And then you've got Spark Swap as well. Be careful. That hasn't been as long as Gwei is down this low, you're better off with the actual Pulse Chain bridge as far as I've seen. But so there are ways to do it. we'll see how the exchange thing goes. But do you have any kind of final thoughts on that, Ewok?
No, that about wraps it up for that topic anyway.
Okay. Good stuff. Just so many comments that I'm really intrigued by here. So, okay. So good stuff. We will transition onto this. If you guys are enjoying the stream, do us a favor, hit the like. We appreciate you being here. And yeah, Hex Girl says on Telegram, Coach said they have new bankers just integrating now. Yeah, we knew that they were getting, like over 10 new bankers, and maybe, that is a bigger undertaking than they originally thought possibly. But if it does lead to, not having any issues that there were with only like one before, then that will be helpful. So,
right.